Greetings, film freaks. We are the Podcorn Kernels. Join us as we discuss the hard and often indigestible truths that are at the center of the fluffy and delicious world of cinema. Season 2. What's poppin', people? Welcome to the Podcorn Kernels Podcast. My name is Harry, and joining me in your ear holes is Adam. Say hello, Adam.
We sensed that we should be following a different path, a more ambitious one. We felt that we were destined for other things, but we had no idea how to achieve them, and in our misery, we began to hate everything around us. I love you, Daddy. Do the roar.
On today's episode, we will be discussing the highs and lows of Season 2. But for tonight, and tonight only, again, I'm in the driver's seat. How do you feel about that, Adam?
I feel good. I feel relieved. I'm full disclaimer, I'm hanging out my arsehole.
Yes.
So I'm quite happy that you're steering this ship because I may vomit or shit or both at any given time.
And why are we hanging outside our arseholes? What happened yesterday?
We drank a copious amount of Guinness.
Why were we out drinking?
Because we closed Season 2. We're celebrating new jobs. We haven't gone out for a drink for 3+ months. So everything, the stars aligned.
We were pure boys.
We were pure good boys for a long, long time. And then yesterday we decided to tie one off. And tie one off we did. And now I regret everything.
I feel like I've been kicked in the head by a cow.
I feel like I've been kicked everywhere by several cows.
Several big bovines, huh?
No, I feel fucked.
I got some questions. Let's just get through this.
Yeah.
Another 40 chart-topping tunes to support the synopsis. What was your favourite and least favourite, and maybe some whys?
Well, I consider every song we do a bop. Even the ones that I think are probably a little bit bad, I still have a
dutty
soft
bop.
spot for. Yeah, most of them are dutty bops or mild bops at minimum. But I think my favourite is probably Society of the Snow. Now, I feel that that is an exquisite bop that has really lovely and heartfelt lyrics. I also really like All of Us Strangers, and I will always pick an original song where your wife gets involved because she is a talent. Least favourite has to be Jenny Wife / Child. I think any negative questions, again, full disclaimer, is going to go back to those two episodes, Common Law Wife or Jenny Wife Child. And I've chose that as least favourite because it's one that we didn't do. We couldn't be asked to do an original song for such a nothing film, so we pulled it from the film, and it's the first ever film that has a synopsis-based song in its actual film. In its actual being.
Adam drunkenly shared with me last night that his only regret of Season 2 was Jenny Wife Child and... what's that one called?
Common Law Wife.
Common Law Wife. But I said you shouldn't, because summer numbers always dip anyway, and they actually started to dip a little before them films come out. But he's got it in his head that he's dug our own grave.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very grateful to the lovely people at Film Masters, and if you're a physical media collector, you should go and get it, but they're not for me. And as said previously on other episodes, I've tried to flog that dog and nobody wants it.
Mate, you look like shit.
I feel like shit.
Do you know what will make you feel better?
What's that?
The Cold Air of Society of the Snow original song to support synopsis. Should we give it a spin?
Yes, please.
No man hath greater love than this, that he'll lay down his life for his friends. No man hath greater love than this. Only when you've lost you know what you miss. Want the start when it comes the end. Only when you've lost you know what you miss. We were flying high in the clouds of hope. Now we survive and die in a canvas of snow. Do what we must so we can go home. Not what we were, now skin and bone. No man hath greater love than this, that he'll lay down his life for his friends. No man hath greater love than this. Only when you've lost you know what you miss. Want the start when it comes the end. Only when you've lost you know what you miss.
I love that song just as much, and the reason I didn't pick it is because I thought you definitely would pick it, and I thought we want a bit of variation in the episode, but it meant a lot to me, and it was a film that I was extremely excited to watch, and it didn't disappoint me. I found it to be haunting, brilliantly acted, and I think we did the right song for it.
Yeah,
we really did.
It was that perfect combination. Some songs we both contribute, and it's just sometimes it just hits it, and we just smashed it, I feel. And that was one of those songs where my lyrics, you heard my lyrics, then you came up with a song for it, put them together, and it all just worked out great. And it's a song that enters my head quite often, so I had to have it as my favourite because I believe it to be an absolutely beautiful bop. It
made me want to survive a plane crash and then eat people. It was inspiring.
I think that's what it's meant to do. Yeah. What's your favourite?
For a long time, it was a bit of a self-suck, but I did love Under the Shadow for how odd and unique it was. But is it my personal favourite? I don't think it is. I think Cinema Paradiso came from the heart, and I loved acting up to it, you know. It had a cheesy emo verse, then some deep South rock chorus, and I loved it.
It's a great song. It's a great choice.
Do you mind if
I would like to
if
hear
I self-suck? And
I will join you in the self-suck, and I would like to hear, yeah.
Well, thank you, Dad.
Tummy Sticks.
Here is an original song to support the synopsis. How can this building be the center of a town? How can a movie be the happiness we have now? Because on any given night I could be Tarzan or a clown. A gun-toting cowboy or a soldier from out of town. Why does it hurt that they're gonna tear you down? It's just bricks, water, and mortar, but no, it's something else. It's love and life on the big screen, and that's how I was found. Because on any given night I could be Tarzan or a clown. A gun-toting cowboy or a soldier from out of town.
Did that do anything for you, that one?
All our songs do something to me.
They do, don't it, huh?
Yeah.
They really do.
Proud of every single one of them, even the ones that I think in hindsight aren't as solid as others. Each one's got a special place in my heart.
Well, my least favourite is Talk to Me, because I hated giving credence to it. And it made my skin crawl.
Yeah. I know, I get it.
Talk to me, you'll say.
Yeah.
Then you'll be in my mind.
I just didn't like the film, so it makes me dislike the song.
I know what you mean.
I know
Yeah,
how you're feeling.
it's by association, isn't it? If the film's shit, you kind of ignore the quality of the song. Are we going to listen to that song? I kind of want to listen to it.
Do you want to?
I kind of want to listen to it because I quite like, and my own self-suck here, I quite like my Australian accent.
I think you did well. You did do well. It's nothing wrong with the song itself. It's just I didn't like the subject matter. But yeah, they'd give it a spin.
I let you in, you ruin things, you take over my mind, those eyes ain't mine. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, yes.
Come with me, and you will see, these words ain't mine. We're gonna chill your spine. Can't run from me. 1, 2, 3. You're not alone. I'm in your bones. Listen to me. Then you are free. The fun begins. Tasty sins.
I let you in, you ruin things, you take over my mind, those eyes ain't mine. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, yeah.
You get what I mean, though. If you don't like the film, it's kind of hard to like the song, huh?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Then again, I haven't seen Barbie. I don't really want to watch it, but I love Billie Eilish's song in it. I think it's a wonderful song, one of the best ever written.
Yeah, it's a great song and she's a fantastic talent. I would be interested if we ever did do an episode on Barbie to, number one, hear your thoughts, and number two, imagine what that song would be.
Well, us trying to live up to the genuine talent of Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I don't even know how we would cross that bridge of trying to do a song for a film that's already got an absolute iconic belter of a song for the film.
Yeah, and we can't afford the copyright to insert it into the episode because we don't make a goddamn penny doing the show.
No, not a single penny.
It's not appreciated.
No.
How much effort goes into it.
No.
What was your favourite film of season 2 and why? And by that I mean, as a whole, when you look at this, what is your favourite film?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. And we covered some absolute belters in this season, and it would be really easy to go with stone cold classics like Reservoir Dogs, Heat, or Whiplash. But I think I'll go for Poor Things, as it was a newly released film, and I just loved everything about it. And it was a film that I saw before you, and doing it for the podcast, I was a bit unsure whether you would vibe with the tribe, but you did vibe with the tribe, and I liked that you did vibe. And yeah, I just love everything about that film. So for me, it was a new film. It was a fresh Lanthimos and straight out the box, and I thought, yeah, I really enjoyed that film, so that's my pick.
Recap.
The thing I liked most, you've already touched on it, is Emma Stone, the woman herself. I think Miss Stone's turn as curious Frankenstein baby brain in grown woman body was nothing short of exceptional. I feel that she fully deserved the Best Actress Oscar for her portrayal of Bella.
Yeah.
She fully committed to a role that required her to leave nothing behind, and she excelled as an adventure-hungry character with a fascinating story arc.
What about yours?
For me, it was between that and Precious.
Yeah.
As pound-for-pound films, which I think are original, well-acted, fun as well.
Yeah.
You know, even though Precious is a dark story, it's a fun experience to watch such a film where your lead actress is just this huge overweight girl. And then Poor Things is just crazy, the subject matter, you know, it's all about sexual revolution. It's brave film's crazy. It's weird. It's got a duck dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
I would argue that every film would be made better with a dog in it. And certainly I'm a big fan of Poor Things. And I was a huge fan of watching Precious for the first time, because that's a film that you've lauded for years and I've never got round to watching it. And I really enjoyed watching that. Like you said, it's a whole experience. It's a difficult watch at times, but so well made, so well performed, written, all of those things. So yeah, I think that's a great fucking answer too.
Recap.
Everything about this film, for me, is exceptional. The pace, the cutscenes whilst daydreaming about greener pastures, the grit of 1987 Harlem. But from all of it comes Gabori Sidibe. She's phenomenal in the title role of Precious. This is, for me, I think, almost an impossible film to make because of the subject matter and events that it unwraps. But she took this on with little or no career, and as per what you were mentioning, the facts, first ever film, essentially, and only got it because her road was blocked. Amazing. And in my opinion, she gave the only leading actor performance that year worthy of awards.
What was your least favourite film of season 2?
You know the answer. It's a head-to-head. It's a double feature. The
Common
backwards
Law.
double feature. Common Law Wife.
I'm right there
Jenny
with you.
Wife / Child.
We won't spend any more time on that. I'm right there with you.
Well, we'll spend one more moment on that, because if the people that sent it over are listening still, thank you for still listening and thank you for sending them over. But please don't ever pollute my Letterboxd with that trash or trash of that standard ever again, because it still haunts me.
What was your favourite episode of season 2 and why?
That's like asking me to choose my favourite child.
I got one.
I think maybe Santa Sangre or the Iron Claw. Now, that could be recency bias because they're fresh in thy memory, or it could be because we spoke with our guts in them, or it was, you know, I got to showcase some hidden talents. I'm not sure, but I think thinking back for that, I think those two stand out, but that could be just because they're quite recent. What about yours?
Mine was Saltburn.
Oh, it's a great episode.
Such a laugh dissecting it.
Yeah.
And the subject matter was just fuel for our fire. It was when we can sit and we both sort of like, this film's not really more than a 5 or a 6 or something. It's just a great episode. I always find when it's bang down the middle, it's so fun to be able to dissect it and sort of tear it apart.
I also deeply love it when a film is so hyped and everybody's talking about it. And you know, when Saltburn came out, it was a genuine pop culture phenomenon. Everyone was talking about it. It was genuinely shocking to younger audiences. A lot of people really loved it. And because of the hype train, I jumped aboard and was expecting big things. And for me, it didn't live up. And I liked that we were both on the same page. And we didn't slate it, but we were we tried to humble it because it's by no means a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say a word and you explain what you think it means in terms of our podcast. Menu.
Menu. Varied menu. A selection that caters to all audiences.
Yeah.
I am very proud at the fact that we review every type of film. This season was a great next step because we were actually sent films by film distributors, and you know, they might not have been films that we would ordinarily cover, so it was good fun to be sent them over, get a nice physical media edition, and yeah, I really enjoyed like broadening our horizons by watching those films that we probably would never touch. So for me, menu means variety. It means we offer something for everyone. And
do you think it's disabling us a little? Because obviously some podcasts that are doing bang out the cinema new releases.
Yeah.
I think then people want to run off and hear the opinions of new cinema, new films. And I do think there's probably a bigger audience there. But obviously there's then people that don't want spoilers, so they don't tune in. So it was hard to find that balance.
It's exactly that. It's trying to figure out what it is our audience wants. And it's one of our biggest crosses to bear. It's doing this podcast. We pick a film that we think, right, people are going to like this. It's a popular film. It's a current film. It's a cult film, whatever it is. And we have, those ones that we think will perform well don't always perform well, and those ones that we don't think will do very well, maybe one that a publisher sent over, they are the ones that end up doing really well, and it's kind of impossible to gauge. But certainly,
very strange.
Certainly in season 3, I definitely think that's something we can try and see how it works out, doing fresh out of the cinema, new films, brand new releases on the big screen, and giving our thoughts on those.
You've sort of already answered this, but it's sort of a follow-up question. But being film consumers, can you, in your own words, explain why we don't do cinema releases or stone cold classics all the time?
It's like you said, menu, variety. For example, Marvel podcasts are a dime a dozen. A horror podcasts are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
For me, it's being able to go, oh, do you like horror films? Do you like world cinema? Do you like comedy? Do you like thriller? Do you like films from the 30s? Do you like brand new films? Do you like independent films? Do you like blockbusters? I sort of pride ourselves on catering to every sort of cinephile. And
we're a catch-all, I suppose. We can't do franchises. But we're a catch-all for everything else.
Exactly, yeah. And I think, you know, moving forward, next season, if we do brand new releases, then we'll see how they perform. But it's striking that balance between brand new films and then other films that, you know, we want. One of the greatest pleasures in doing this is I get to show you films I want you to see. You get to show me films that you want me to see. And it's a good way to get those films watched. Yeah. If we're doing an episode on it, we kind of have to watch those films, and it's great to educate ourselves.
And we can't do 10s all the time. As much as I want to, I don't want to watch shit films. I want to watch films I adore all the time. But imagine that. Imagine you just did great films all the time. How boring.
If every single episode we did was a 10 out of 10, like where's the variety? Like, menu's a great word, and that's what I consider this podcast to be, just a varied menu that everybody can eat from.
Yeah, the other day, like 4 people downloaded Notting Hill.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago it was that episode.
Yeah,
it's a rom-com set in London with Hugh Grant. 4 people went for it.
Yeah, out of the blue. Nowhere.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's like fishing with autistic people.
Yep.
What was your favourite trailer, and by definition, what the plot?
Oh, now, there's a lot to pick from. Like the original songs, each one holds a special place in my heart because we think up these plot ideas, then we create a trailer. It's a great way to flex our creative muscles.
Mate, you write scripts sometimes.
I do, and sometimes too much. But yeah, I mean, season 2 will always hold a special place in my heart as well because it was the first time I contributed to What the Plot.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not going to pick one of my own, though, for I'm a humble boy, but I'm going to go with Margaret from our Lawrence of Arabia episode. The fact that this is based on a true story from a local pub dweller makes it all that more endearing.
Margaret. A crazy Florida woman is from Scotland.
Aye.
Floridian Scottish woman.
That's her.
Mine was a recent one. I have to play the trailer for it, but it was a recent one about the president who kills himself on telly, and someone made him do it.
Michael Bay.
And then the coppers go to Lebanon, and they go around the world, and the whole time it was a 90s action film. Yeah.
So I've actually, like, my favourite What the Plot is probably Margaret because it's based on a true origin story. But my favourite What the Plot trailer is probably Gone with the Smelly Wind from our Santa Sangre episode. Now, anytime I get to showcase my armpit farting talents is a good time for me. So for me to be able to share that with the group, I was like, yeah.
Let's play all of them in that order.
Yes.
Reverse order.
Recap.
I've gone with the smelly wind.
Gone with the Smelly Wind.
Yeah.
I think I like that.
Gone with the Smelly Wind. Directed by Todd Phillips and starring, sorry, Mr. Harris, Jared Harris. Yeah.
Some of us enjoy it, others despise it. It means different things in different cultures, yet one thing remains. We all do it. But why do so many of us find it so funny? My name is Edward Traffing, and I am travelling the globe to see what the world thinks of breaking wind. Farting, bottom burps, trumping, gut bum.
The Times calls it a groundbreaking piece of journalism. Gone with the Smelly Wind. Are you farting?
Look at me. The title of the film, I'm going so basic, but I feel like you just have to call it her name. You
Yeah.
have to call it Margaret.
I'd love to see it like that.
Yeah.
Yes. In nomine Patriae, Spiritus Sancti. Mother, father, religion, Scotland, repression, boredom, retreat, rain. I can't live like that. I want more from my life. Music, passion, dancing, alcohol, drugs, sex, laughter, freedom, sunshine, hope. My name is Margaret, and I'm going to be who the fuck I want to be. This is my story. Hold on, you wee little shitters.
She's gonna find her voice, and it's gonna be fucking loud. Margaret, coming soon. Call the film Sacrifice of State.
Nice. That's a good one. Well done.
This is the situation. We know two things. The president is dead, and someone made him do it. It's your job to go and find out who.
Where do we start?
At the beginning. But first, Lebanon.
Has anyone considered that he was just deeply depressed and just wanted to take his own life because he couldn't take it anymore?
God damn it, Dipper. Depression's a myth. He was too strong. He grew up on whole milk.
Oh, milk.
From Explosive Man, Michael Bay, Sacrifice of State, coming in the summer.
Season 1 or season 2?
Ooh. Big question.
Yeah.
And these, henceforth, are my thoughts.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to say season 1 because I just have the most amazing memories. Well, they're clearer memories. So
Yeah.
the summer, the winter, autumn, spring spent doing it, whereas 2 is still too close. So for me, 1's my fondest because it was the blossoming.
Well, you've got the member berries nostalgic glasses on. I think I tend to agree. I think maybe I've got fonder memories of season 1. And I think season 2 may be the better quality because we've been doing it longer. It's time served, it's experience. I feel like we've got sharper, quicker, snappier, funnier, all these things. Not to sound arrogant, but I do think we've improved since we first started now. And I'd be interested to listen to our first ever episode alongside our latest one just to see what the differences are, and I just feel like all round we've probably grown in confidence and competence.
I think so, yeah, definitely. Yeah. That journey, though, it's always, you're right, it's member berries.
Yeah.
I just miss it.
Yeah.
It's so weird to say that when you're in a season, doing a season, you're like, I miss season 1.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's the difference, cunt?
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah, but it was our first venture into it, so it was exciting, it was new, it was not knowing how it was going to perform, what it was going to do. It was, now we're longer in the tooth, so we kind of know what to expect, and don't get me wrong, I still love doing it, but that first season, it was so fresh. It's like honeymoon period of a relationship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that first season, it was new, it was exciting. Now I think season 2 is still new, it's still exciting, but because we've grown, we've got more comfortable with it, and I think it's only improved us as podcasters.
We're more efficient, we can get it done a lot quicker. In the past, we had to build backlogs of 20, 25 episodes before we go live, because, God, it was a long process. Now it's a lot more streamlined, or a lot quicker.
Pros,
absolute pros. What would you say to our listeners in the hopes that they are listening? Please, I hope you're listening.
Yeah, keep listening, please. Tell your friends. Thank you for listening.
Grow our backlog.
Yeah, just fucking support us more, motherfuckers. No, we genuinely though, we do appreciate every single one of you that listens. We don't like to do that thing that every other podcaster does and beg for your likes and subscribes every single episode. I mean, I do a bit of it on Instagram and social media channels to try and
but you
get
don't do it in
readers.
the content.
No, I don't. And, you know, if you enjoy what we do, maybe tell your friends to tell their friends, and so on, and help us grow, because we do love what we do, but we do think it deserves more ears. We put a lot of time and effort. We juggle with our everyday lives, our mundane professional lives, our everyday existence, and this is a great outlet for us, but we do think it deserves more. And
the whiskey talking sounds like a suicide note.
Yeah.
Every point valid, though.
Yeah, I'm sweating Guinness at the moment. Mate. So, yeah.
It's true, though. We never ask people in an episode, like, we don't ruin the content with begging attitudes and stuff. What I would love is, because obviously there's a lot of listeners out there. We see our numbers, you know, to go peak, and, you know, lots of different countries and stuff. And what I would ask is leave a review, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Just interact.
It's a great shout,
Just leave reviews, because reviews are like what grade your podcast.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. And the longer we do this, the less we get comments and reviews. When there was a time, sort of tail end season 1, start of season 2, we would get quite a lot of feedback and messages, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be reviews on Spotify or reviews on Apple Podcasts or whatever. Like, you know, it helps us to have feedback. Like, it's nice, it's lovely if you follow us on Instagram and you give a little heart to whatever it is I'm posting, or you throw in an emoji, but it'd mean even more if you actually gave us a bit more of your time and just wrote a few lines about what you actually think of the podcast as a whole, what we can do better, what you like, what you dislike. Yeah, and like you say, any sort of feedback's greatly appreciated.
What is your hope for the future of PCK?
World domination.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Like, we're the new Nazis.
Yeah.
Instead of red and black, it's red and yellow.
To be honest, I think, you know, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You know, I'd love for it to pick up momentum, gain more listeners. I'd love to potentially make a bit of money from doing this as a reward for the time and effort we put in, and just grow, I guess, just evolve to the next step. I don't know what the next step would be, but just getting bigger, getting more ears on it. Maybe, you know, we potentially might have an in somewhere. Don't want to go into too many details, but that's an exciting possibility if that
at a very famous media establishment in the UK.
Yes, we'll say no more on that.
Absolutely nothing.
To not jinx it, but if that would come into fruition, I would be most pleasantly surprised and proud.
Would you take minimum wage to do this every day?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. I think so.
I would. I mean, I would if I could.
Yeah.
If I could keep a roof over family's head and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that was a gut response saying, yeah, I would. But I mean, if it would pay the bills, then absolutely. If, you know, if I had to take a step back, go on to minimum wage and then grow and salary grows as doing that, that would be like, yeah, I would take that initial hit to try and
I read a really good article recently about if your numbers start to dwindle, they drop off, or they just stay the same every year. The guy said, don't just keep throwing content after content after each other thinking it'll grow your numbers. He says, try and sell your backlog. Try and get more people to listen to what you've done. Don't think you have to constantly be creating, especially without, we've done 80 episodes. There's so many people out there who haven't listened to them.
Yeah.
Hello, wait a minute. Guinness, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We deserve an fucking award for even recording this right now.
I have not had a headache that bad in years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting heartburn in places that I didn't think I could get heartburn in.
Desert death headache.
Yeah.
I felt like Lawrence of Arabia, no water, camel just done me up the arse, and I've got no water in me.
No one wants that.
That's it.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, we're hungover.
Okay.
What do you want? What do you want? That's all I can... That's it. It says season 2 goodbye song.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Don't worry, I'll spice this up. I'll add loads of shit in recaps and stuff. I'll spice it up.
Just add in like an hour loop of Jenny wife / child song. Just over and over again.
Is there anything nice you want to say?
Oh, it's just a pleasure, isn't it? It's always nice to look back. I think, like you said, with time, the time between this season and the next season, however long that may be, that's when you start to remember it fondly. Like you mentioned, we're still in the midst of it. It's still very new. We're living it. It's time away from it.
Yeah, we need a break from it.
Makes you love it when you're not doing it. I mean, I love it when we're doing it, but you need those breaks. You need to have a break to recalibrate. Check your stock, like just have time away from it and then come back reinvigorated, revitalized, and then come back stronger, better.
I feel the same every time it comes to the end of the season. I'm always like, I want to get it done.
Yeah.
Because, it's 40 weeks, a better part of a year, really. It's an entire Premier League season. And as it gets closer to the end, I always want that break because you can't go to the Bahamas every day. You'd get sick of it. It would become New Addington. It would become Bolton.
It's like Christmas every day.
Yeah.
It'd be great for a while. And it's don't get me wrong, like even times when yourself or myself, where we might be tired, we might be stressed, whatever other outside factors contribute, as soon as I get in here and put the headphones on, I love it. I absolutely love it. The creative process, all of it. But that being said, yeah, having that break is important and taking a step back to remember why we love it, why we're doing it. And 40 episodes recording every week is a lot. It does take its toll. It's a fun toll. It's something that I greatly enjoy doing. It's still my favourite thing to do. But like Carl Pilkington said, you've got to take the badness to have the goodness.
The old cold doth get rid of the badness.
Yeah. And it's that, like you said, it's like when you've got a holiday coming up from work, the last week at work, you just want it to hurry up, get done.
Yeah.
You slack. I don't think we've ever slacked, but as it gets to the end of the season, it is almost like, right, come on, I can see the end.
So much has changed as well. Like I changed jobs recently, and I went from having a very isolated, don't talk to many people type of job, allowed me a lot of time to be able to do the podcast. And Adam changed into a job where he now only has his weekends free.
Yeah. So
we've lost half the time we used to have.
Yeah.
And it's not concerning, but I think it's worth letting audience know that potentially you will maybe have a spread out podcast next year, or you might have a delayed podcast, or you might have one that's a shorter season or shorter episodes. We've got to go to the drawing table and try and make it work. Otherwise, we'll end up quitting halfway through a season if it's 40 episodes, because we just won't ever have time to do anything else.
Exactly. It makes complete sense while that fire's still burning, while the passion is still there, is to look at our situation now. We were blessed in season 1 and a large part of season 2 of having, like you said, a bit more free time to play with. Now that's changed. We have to recalibrate. We have to look at how it best fits in with our new routines, our loved ones' routines, all of these things. But I do think we'll come back stronger. And like you say, what season 3 looks like, how it looks like, whether it's shorter episodes, whether it's fortnightly episodes, whether it's 20 episodes a season, we don't know yet.
Can I tell you what I'd like?
What would you like?
I'd like bi-monthly cinema release reviews. I'd like to release an episode every 2 weeks, and I'd want it to be on films that are coming out of the cinema.
Only new films at cinema.
That would be a whole new experience for us.
Yeah. See, I like that idea. I've warmed to that idea. I in season 1 doing brand new cinema releases, I was always a bit like, but people won't want to listen because they haven't seen it or whatever. But it's an interesting test. It's a science experiment, isn't it?
We always change something a little every year.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a wicked one.
For me, the way I would like to do it is one for them in terms of cinema releases. Brand new films, one for us.
You do one for them, you do one for us.
Yeah, like
is that the mantra? Get the fucking fat out of your ears.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's how I see it. For them, the audience being brand new releases, for us being a film that I want to watch, or I want you to watch, or I want us to watch, whatever that may be.
I love the thought of us tying in, like some actual time together, social in the cinema, watching a movie together. Not going out and getting sloshed. Going to watch a movie, talk about it on the drive home. See you later, mate. And then record one day or something. So, yeah, I do. I see it being like a more of a bi-weekly thing. Take a lot of pressure off ourselves. Still build a backlog and all that stuff. But not. We hit a point in the last 10, 15 episodes of this year, or whatever it was, where if we didn't record in a week,
we'd miss
a release date.
Yeah.
So it's been pressure. I don't want to go back to that world, especially now that you've only got your weekends. I've only got my weekends. 2 days.
It's not enough.
Someone's ill. Someone goes on holiday. Someone's partner's working. And you're chief babysitter. Like you're fucked, and then you let down your audience. Don't want to do that.
No, exactly that. And
I'm just going to keep going. But what film are you looking forward to the most that hasn't been released yet this year? You got my head turned for Edgar's Nosferatu. Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, I think it's this year. It might be start of next. I'm not entirely sure, but that's definitely one. Especially doing the last episode on the Lighthouse. That's definitely buttered my crumpet.
I want to see if he's not letting all film is terrible. I want to see if he's gone back to his old ways.
I feel like he's gone back to a genre he's better at in terms of the horror, that sort of folklore, mythological horror thriller type film, and I think it'd be really interesting to see him do what I'm assuming is the Nosferatu origin story. I think he's a very capable set of hands within that genre, and I'm excited to see that. I'm also excited to see, I know it's a sequel, and I'm not a great fan of sequels normally, but I did love the first Joker. I am excited to see what the second one looks like. I
thought you saw it. Isn't it out?
It's not out yet. No.
Why did I see reviews for it?
I think
some
people have gone to like early screeners. I think it's coming out imminently. So when this episode is released, I think it will be out. So when you're hearing this, I might have actually seen it and have an opinion.
I look forward to your, if you ever want to see Adam's written reviews on Pop Goes the Beazle.
Ooh.
They're great if you prefer words over things in your ear, maybe you don't like sounds.
Yeah.
And you just want to read. You want to read a man put them thoughts of his down on a bit of papier.
Maybe you want your eyes to consume my thoughts instead of your ears consuming our thoughts. And if that's the case, go to Pop Goes the Beazle. Thank you for the little plug there. That's nice of you. Very much appreciated.
It's all right. I can do self-portraits of myself.
Yeah.
And send
self-portraits of yourself.
I can send them out, post them to you. If you just pay for the postage and the stamps, I can send you a little drawing of myself.
Yeah.
What I do, right, is I get a mirror.
Yeah.
I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I get a pencil, but I don't look at the paper. I just look at myself with my eyes wide. I don't blink. And I just draw what I see in the mirror without looking at the paper. When I look down at the paper, it don't look anything like me.
With your foot?
No.
That's the next
step. Just hand.
Mm.
That's it. I want to say goodbye now.
I'm going to throw up fire. I think the most intense heartburn of my life.
I think you should go home.
I think I'm going
to go home. Are you going to walk or are you going to get picked up?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fetal position.
When that fresh air hits, you're going to fall over.
No. I am now panicked.
I'm going to go and have a shower and then I'm going to feel really depressed because of the Guinness, but also because it's Sunday and I'm back into the grind.
The swing of hell tomorrow. But we always...
When we do season 3 and we say what's been your favourite season summary, I'm going to say 1 because I think this one has been really depressing. I think I've depressed us.
Oh. Nothing like ending on a high note.
I'm joking. Love you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ad, for letting me host. I'm sorry I was uninfused this time, but it's done.
It's good. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Are you still recording?
Still recording. It's only 36 minutes.
Well,
It's
yeah.
very short.
Thank you. You're going to input some shit, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Buff it
A
up.
couple of repacks.
Some recaps, some repacks,
Recaps.
some self-foot painting, drawing, whatever you're saying. Like, just keep listening, really, and fucking tell everyone else to
Not
listen.
to this episode. Don't keep listening to this. You can just, you tuned out by now. It's over, guys.
Just-
Go away.
No, you're gonna hold me.
You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, Ed.
Schneider!
Should we play a game?
Si, senor.
On today's episode, we will be talking about what's popping, people. Welcome to the Podcorn Kernels Podcast.
If you like your podcast to be fun, factual, and fully focused on the thoughts of film fanatics, or if you've ever wanted to hear songs based on the synopsis of all sorts of cinema, then the Podcorn Kernels Podcast could be the podcast for you.
Farewell, film freaks. You have been listening to the Podcorn Kernels Podcast. We thank you for joining us on our adventure into the fluffy and delicious world of cinema.